the plot thickens with Britney Spears. So she has come out now and said, look, essentially saying, I'm fine. This is crazy talk about interventions and everything else. Well, look, here's what's going on. There is a conflict in the world of Britney Spears. Somebody is blocking this intervention from happening. And I would assume, argue, whoever that person is, she doesn't need it. Well, I can tell you, we have spoken with multiple people. I can count 7 that I know of that we've talked to, and there are more. 7 people who are saying that this intervention literally is life or death.
Right.
Which is not happening because somebody pulled the plug on it.
Right. And that person, whoever, we don't know who that person is yet, but they're probably putting it in Britney's ear that everything's fine. Meanwhile, all these other people around her really feel that her life is now in danger because this intervention did not happen. And they have very specific reasons and very specific fears about what happens now going forward without the intervention.
And so, look, I mean, we've talked to people who have said that, you know, their worry is waking up in the morning and getting that phone call. There are people saying it feels like 2008 again when Britney was in dire
really
shape when she was involuntarily committed twice. And there are people who are getting specific about some of the things that she's doing that have caused alarm, making them think that she can be a danger and is a danger to herself and other people as well.
I mean, they also say that she's abusing Adderall, caffeine, really anything she can get her hands on. They believe that she's a danger not only to herself, but to others too. But I do want to point out one thing, because Britney went on Instagram last night and she said, look, it's a shame that people can make up stories that I almost died. And clearly she's referring to our story. We never said she almost died. We said people around her were afraid that she could die if this cycle continues. So I think she's trying to downplay it for her fans, maybe. She's turned the comments off on her Instagram page so they can't really relay messages to her anymore. And I think that this help is very desperate. And we've heard that not from one person, not from 2, but from close to 10 who know her the best.
Yeah. I mean, there is a conflict, and that's an understatement in Britney's camp, that there are people who are really angry at whoever it is who pulled the plug on this intervention. It was supposed to go down, as we told you last Tuesday, that her manager actually rented a house in the LA area, and they were going to take her to the house. And Sam, her husband, was going to be there along with the manager and doctors. And the hope was to keep her there for as long as 2 months where she could get help. That never happened because, again, somebody pulled the plug and the Tuesday intervention never occurred.
It's really troubling that there's this person who is saying, if you're the person who feels she doesn't need this, how do you respond?
Yeah.
How do you respond? How do you reconcile with all the other people who I would imagine have some contact with? If they're in Britney's inner circle, they must have some contact with.
I just want to say one thing. I think the point you made is so incredibly important, because when you look back in time, when Jamie Spears was the conservator making these decisions, you know, look, there were people saying, oh, Jamie's doing it for money, he wants to do this and that. Then I don't think that's true, but a lot of people felt that. Mm-hmm. Here, you don't have that alleged incentive. You've got people who care about her.
Right.
And a lot of them.
This isn't about.
It's not a conservatorship. It's people who are really alarmed by her conduct.
And we got to remember that when she was under this conservatorship, it was because she had a mental illness, which, by the way, is not going away anytime soon. So it is something that she still has right now. And when we spoke to people around her, they said that she's not taking her medication. And this is a huge red flag, and it's very dangerous. We're even being told that, look, the medication that she does usually take is taken to stabilize her mood. And instead of taking that medication, she's taking other substances, which are making her mental illness even worse. So this is just what we were told, a ticking time bomb. And I think any of her fans that look at her Instagram, read the captions, see the videos, you know something is not right. And to kind of ignore that is just, it's dangerous. It really is. And so whoever in her camp torpedoed this possible, intervention is really not doing anybody any favors. And of course, not doing her a favor, because sitting down and actually talking to somebody about their problems, about how people around them are concerned for her, that is the right thing to do. So I hope she does eventually get the help she needs.
Hey, I'm Jay from New York. I feel like everyone could see that there was a problem with Britney, but I feel like a lot of people were in this coddling mentality. And I think what happened is that once she became free and it was like, yay, she's free, there was no other steps that were being taken to help her on now this journey of her mental health because she has severe mental health issues. And it's really scary and it's kind of sad because many people were living vicariously through the old Britney, but that Britney doesn't exist anymore.
You're right, didn't exist for a long time.
Yeah.
And look, the other thing is, I will say, Britney Spears was miserable in that conservatorship toward the end. That's reason enough to make big changes. But the issue is the change casting, in other words, getting rid of the conservator and putting the new structure in place and new people in place, or is it getting rid of the conservatorship? And a lot of people just bypassed all of that. They had no knowledge, understanding of what the underlying issues were, and they just said, get her out. And this is where we are.